How do I report spam to the originating ISP? Hi everyone, Leo Notendom here for askleo.com. Let's get right to the question. Is there a good way to report spam to the originating ISP? SpamCop used to do it automatically with a paid subscription. It worked very well. Sorry to tell you, but no, there is not. And even if there were, I wouldn't recommend using it. There's just no point in reporting spam to anything you might consider the source because it's probably not the source at all. Most people's vision of spam looks something like this. The concept is simple. Spammers compromise some email accounts or even entire email servers and then use those accounts to send you spam. For a long time, actually, that wasn't far from the truth. Spammers could usually be traced back to a specific server or ISP, at which point reporting the spammer to that ISP or server owner made a lot of sense. The source of the spam was easy to identify and shut down. The reason spam continued, however, is that there were so many compromised accounts or servers that each time one was shut down, they just moved to another. While some spam still works that way, and mail servers are still under constant attack, the landscape has changed fairly dramatically. It's not nearly as simple as it once was. These days, spam sources more closely resemble, well, this. Today, the spam you get is much more likely to have been sent by some random, compromised desktop computer that has been turned into a zombie spam bot. And while the image shows only 30 at play, botnets can consist of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of compromised computers. That makes identifying the true source of spam an order of magnitude more difficult. When you get a piece of spam, it includes several bits of information that seem like they would help locate the spammer behind it all. Sadly, not the case. The from address these days is almost always spoofed. That means the email account in the from address was not involved in any way. It was not compromised or even accessed in order to send spam. The individual at that email address was not involved in any way. Replying, complaining to them, reporting them, or blocking their email address, completely, totally, 100% ineffective. The email service represented by that email address, for example, say Gmail, if the email address was at gmail.com, was similarly not involved. It was all spoofed. It was all fake. Reporting that spam to the email service will be ineffective. They and their user had nothing to do with any of it. In other words, the from address is useless when trying to deal with spam. The IP address that you can sometimes find in the headers that you don't normally see in the email is that of one of thousands of compromised computers somewhere within the botnet. This is going to sound familiar. The owner of that computer may not even realize that their computer is being used to send spam. There's no way for you to identify that owner from their IP address. The ISP that owns that IP address, they may already know that they're sending excessive amounts of spam. Some will actually have already taken action. Here's the thing. Reporting to the owner of the IP address, usually the ISP, will typically fall on deaf ears. That a single customer's computer has malware and is sending spam? Small potatoes to most ISPs. They're typically overloaded with much more important issues. And blocking that IP address is ineffective, since the next spam you get will be from a different one of the thousands of compromised computers. There's just no way for you to identify the real spammer, the botnet controller, from any of the information available to you. Now, we do hear from time to time about botnets being taken down. It's great. This happens when the ISPs, in conjunction with law enforcement, analyze the malware that turns computers into spam bots and trace the source of their command and control, the botnet controller. But again, nothing you can do really aids in this effort. Okay, great. If none of this works, what can you do? Honestly, it's the same old boring stuff you're hopefully already doing. Keep your software up to date, particularly your security software. Practice safe computing, particularly by not opening attachments you don't absolutely trust and not downloading files you don't absolutely trust. Mark spam as spam, and if you find legitimate email in your spam folder, mark that as not spam. That's not reporting it to the source. That's reporting it to your email provider or your email program. They may or may not use that information to do more things, but that's really all you can do. Mark spam as spam. Reporting spam to what you think might be the originating ISP or sender just isn't helpful these days. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/191990. I'm Leo Notenboom, still not AI, for askleo.com. Thanks for watching.